If you think that Raider Nation is the best fan base in all of sports, I want you to comment Raiders down below. Why? I'm a competitive dude, and my boss sent some numbers to me about all the comments from all of our chat sports channels here on YouTube. Well, the Raiders Report, which has 113,000 subscribers, came in ranked number 3. I am trying to change that. So before I get into my news, my rumors going on today, if you come across this video and you believe Raider Nation is the best fan base in all of sports, I want you to go down in the comments right now and spam Raiders. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Hopefully everyone out there had an amazing Mother's Day. Make sure you spent some time with the people that either raised you or just made sure, that you showed them a little bit of love. What we're going to be talking about here on today's show is we're going to be talking a lot about James Bradberry. I'm going to mention Wright, Jimmy Garoppolo, and then at the very end of today's show, a free agent that I want the Raiders to go out and try to sign. James Bradberry has been released by the New York Giants, and we're talking about it here on the Raiders Report. Why? Because Bradberry and the Raiders have had some talks. They've been in connections for quite some time, and the biggest reason that Bradberry was released was not because he wasn't a good player, but because the move saved some room for the New York Giants, and the Giants ultimately couldn't find a trade partner. So Bradberry's been a name that I have mentioned 100 times, I feel like, on this show in the past. So before I give you guys my 2 cents on everything that happened here, if you want the Raiders to go ahead and sign James Bradberry, I want you to spam JB down in the comments because JBs should be flowing. Why? I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 4 believe it babies that the Raiders have interest in James Bradberry. I said it last week. I said it 2 weeks ago. It just simply makes sense. He played well in Patrick Graham's system. He's got connections with DBs and pass game coordinator Jason Simmons. Trayvon Mullen just had surgery on his left foot, which I have been told it was more of a cleanup, and he should be okay for the regular season. But even if Mullen's 100% healthy, James Bradberry is an upgrade over Mullen, and you could even make the argument would be the number 1 corner next to Rocky Sin. Last season with the Giants, 47 tackles, 4 INTs, 17 PBUs. Since this man has been in the NFL since 2016, he's been one of the better cornerbacks in the league. And last year, when the Raiders brought in Casey Hayward, he knew the system. He was a great addition. And if Hayward would have went and played on a bunch of other teams, he probably wouldn't have played so well. Why? Because Hayward was a fit in Gus Bradley's defense. So all those reasons why I wanted the Raiders to go out last year and get Casey Hayward are all of the same reasons why I want the Raiders to go out and get James Bradberry. He knows the system. And this defense is going to be built on being versatile. It's going to be built on having corners that you can rely on no matter what the depth is. So right now, this is what the Raiders cornerback depth chart looks like. Guess what? If I can hit the upgrade button with a simple click and I can make James Bradberry appear, then let's go ahead. Let's get it rocking and rolling. The only issue is it obviously comes down to money. The Raiders got about $5 million in cap space. That might not be enough. And if they can wait until after June 1st, when they get another $20 million from cutting Corey Littleton, from cutting Carl Nassib, then you go ahead and make the move for James Bradberry. All right, y'all, I love what you guys are always coming here. You bring that energy. You bring the excitement. Next thing coming up here on the Raiders Report is I've been getting asked a lot about KJ Wright. What's going on with KJ? Well, we actually got an update, and I'm going to get into that in a second. But YouTube did just launch a brand new feature, and I want to see how it works a little bit. So YouTube launched the Super Thanks, which is essentially just like a super chat, just not on the live show. So here's going to be my deal. If you send in a super thanks on one of my videos, I'm going to give you a shout out. And I went back and I've looked. So far, we got one person who has sent in a super thanks. So shout out to Alejandro Alanda. Keep up the Raider work, notifications on. So he's got his noties on. He did the super thanks. And if you're wondering, okay, how the hell do I do this? I literally Googled it myself. How do you super thanks? And some chick, that's her title, is I'm back in 2K fighting crabs, which makes me laugh because it's not what you think. She's literally like fighting crabs. Well, that's besides the point. There is a button. It's a heart with a dollar symbol. You click that button, and then you actually have the opportunity to essentially, put in 2, a 5, a 10, 50, whatever the hell you want to do. If you're Raider on or David's on, throw in a 500, whatever the heck, guys. But you can also put in your message here. You can say whatever you want. If you do that, I'm going to start giving you guys shout-outs because I understand not every single person can join the live show. Not everyone can super chat for the mailbag. So if you go ahead and send in a super thanks, you will see your name. You will see your message on the Raiders Report. The next story coming up here is around KJ Wright. Sorry, we're not fighting crabs on the Raiders Report. And the latest is this. Yes, he played with the Las Vegas Raiders in 2021, and he's been a player that I was mentioned before that I would love for him to be able to come back here. The update, though, isn't around him and the Raiders. The update is him and the Seattle Seahawks. So Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll spoke recently, I believe actually yesterday, and said that the Seahawks and Wright have talked about a potential reunion. KJ Wright was drafted in 2012, and he spent his first, whatever 2012 to 2020 is, that many years. He spent all those with the Seahawks, and he's going to go down as being one of the best players that Seattle has ever had. He was a 8-time All-Pro linebacker in 10 seasons, a phenomenal player, and the latest is that he could end up going to Seattle. Haven't heard anything, though, from my people in terms of him going back to the silver and black. The next story coming up here on the Raiders Report is a rumor that, for the love of God, can we make it go away? And I'm going to tell you what exactly it is, but it's around Jimmy Garoppolo. And I feel like every single time a trade rumor comes up here around Jimmy G, people who are just dumb, people who are just idiotic, just throw the Raiders' name in there. They toss it in there. I'll tell you the story that CBS threw out there, but I am pumping out more and more content every single day, and we get a lot of people that are coming over to locals, and with YouTube, man, you're just battling a giant of thousands and thousands of comments, and I've been trying to go back in the YouTube comments and tell you guys how I'm feeling about what you're saying, but if you go to locals, I will 100% respond to what you're saying. So if you enjoy this show, then hey, go to RaidersReport.locals.com, scan that QR code for more exclusive Raiders content. Hell, I put out a video bright and early this morning around Jeremy Fowler, who went ahead and said why the Raiders went ahead and they drafted Zamir White. If you want to go ahead and see that video, it's on Locals right now for the supporters. He also talks about Josh Jacobs. He talks about Kenyon Drake, their futures with the teams. If you want to see this video, it's over on Locals. Go ahead, become a supporter. RaidersReport.locals.com. All the information is available in the comments and in the description of today's video. So the story coming up here around Jimmy Garoppolo is this. CBS put out an article that said the 49ers could try to trade Jimmy Garoppolo before 2022 training camp. You guys remember that old rumor? McDaniels and Ziegler, they want Jimmy G. This is way before the Derek Carr contract extension. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, he played well with McDaniels. If it wasn't for McDaniels, Jimmy G probably never would have even left the New England Patriots to go to San Francisco, would have never become the quarterback that he is. And, well, Garoppolo knows the system. Well, does it make sense to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo? I gave the same answer 2 months ago, and I'm going to go ahead and give it the same answer now. It's zero just win, babies. Tuck rule, tuck that. It just doesn't make sense. The Raiders want Derek Carr to succeed. That's why they gave him the contract that he did. It's why they went out and traded for Devontae Adams. And I'm telling y'all right now, McDaniels and Ziegler have had a stellar offseason. Nobody would really debate that. If you go out and you make this trade, you're adding extra drama, which, let's face it, this team does not need extra drama. I also think it probably puts you on the hot seat. And the reason why I say that is because the entire season then, all people are going to talk about is Jimmy G going to come in for Derek Carr? Is Jimmy G this? Is Jimmy G that? Instead of letting Derek know, hey, man, the keys are in your hand and you can get it going. And if Derek struggles, I would absolutely be like, well, it's because you went ahead and you traded for Jimmy Garoppolo. It doesn't make sense. So please, if one more person sends me this rumor, I am going to go absolutely bananas like Gwen Stefani, Bananas. Now, if you're a diehard Raider fan and you started spamming Raiders in the very beginning of today's show because you know that we're the best fans in all sports, you're a real one, you bleed silver and black, then I want you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be live tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. 3 p.m. Pacific. I go live every single Tuesday. Raiders news, Raiders rumors. We do mailbags as well. So please go ahead and hit that big red button that says subscribe. You're watching the Raiders Report coming up, and what we're going to be talking about here is one free agent, one veteran free agent that I wouldn't mind the Raiders going out and trying to kick the tires on him. And the reason why I'm breaking this down is because Bleacher Report went ahead and they put out an article. Veterans that the Raiders should go ahead and sign. So, do the Raiders have interest in Chris Harris Jr.? I'm going to go ahead and give this one 2 just win babies. I believe there's a 50% chance, and if it was up to me, I'd actually say it should probably be a little bit higher. He knows the AFC West very well. He's a good nickel corner and has a lot of versatility. In terms of knowing the division, knowing your rival, being a good nickel corner, bringing that versatility, I love all of those things. And there's a reason why I even kind of could put it at number 3, because when you see things like that Dave Ziegler has said, Josh McDaniels, they've flirted with the idea of putting Nate Hobbs as an outside corner. You put Nate Hobbs as an outside corner, that opens it up here a little bit for Chris Harris Jr. So here's what Bleacher Report had to say on why the Raiders should go out and get Chris Harris Jr. Chris Harris Jr. could provide Las Vegas with valuable depth, likely at a team-friendly price. His age, 32, should limit his market value. And Harris is coming off a series of 1- and 2-year deals with the Denver Broncos and Los Angeles Chargers. Harris' vast experience in the AFC West could also be invaluable to the Raiders. He spent 9 years in Denver and 2 in Los Angeles. This means he's logged plenty of reps against divisional receivers and quarterbacks in their home stadiums. So here's your opportunity, y'all. Be the GM. Let me know what you're thinking. Should the Raiders go out and sign Chris Harris Jr.? I get it. He's 32 years old, but go ahead. Type Y for yes, or go ahead and type N for no. I'm going to go ahead and type my Y for yes, and I'm going to give a few different reasons here. Priority A is James Bradberry. If let's just say you can't get James Bradberry right now, maybe you can get Chris Harris Jr., then you can shift that. Though, if you wait until after June 1st and both those players are available, you will have over $20 million saved up where you can go ahead and get both. The reason why I am typing my Y for yes is it reminds me of a very similar reason why I think the Chargers went ahead and they got Kyle Van Noy. For a very cheap contract, by the way, which ticks me off. However, Kyle Van Noy knows Josh McDaniels. Kyle Van Noy knows this whole organization that the Raiders have put together. That alone is a great reason to go out and get a veteran. It's the exact same reason why you want to get Chris Harris. Bleacher Report mentioned it. They know the Broncos, they know the Chargers, and it brings versatility. So if you can go out and get Chris Harris Jr. on a 1-2-year vet minimum style of a deal, you'd be crazy not to. And we talk a lot about vets on this team because last offseason, I was very pleased by the Raiders bringing in some of those veterans that knew the defense. And here are 5 dudes that I want you guys to just keep in mind. Just keep it in the back of your head. Landon Collins, safety. Let's just say if you're not 100% confident in Jonathan Abram, bring in Landon Collins. He played with Patrick Graham. Donta Hightower, Jamie Collins, Janoris Jenkins, and Cole Beasley. These would be 5 veterans that I would pick up the phone, give them a call, and say, hey, when we get that $20 million post June 1st, we're going to be giving you a call, so please don't sign anywhere. The final thing I'm going to wrap my show up with is this, and I appreciate everyone who makes it this far in all the videos that we do, and a lot of times people ask me, hey, can I get you a drink? Can we do this? Can we do that? Well, actually, I'm going to be doing a meetup this weekend with Graphic Raider, Saturday, 11 a.m., and this is Graphic Street. Next Saturday, 11 a.m., so this Saturday, brunch with me. If you're in the Dallas area, pull up and have a drink with us. Hashtag Raiders, all this and all that. He uses a lot of hashtags, a little more than me, but it's all love Graph. So if you're wondering where we're going to be located, here's the address. 3090 Olive Street in Dallas. If you're like, okay, well, where is that exactly? The restaurant is called Hero. It's one of my favorite restaurants out there for brunch. Our reservation is at 11 a.m. It's right next to the American Airlines Center, so there's going to be plenty of parking around there as well, so don't worry about it. Now, I might recommend taking an Uber, taking a Lyft, because they got really good mimosa deals for brunch. They do $5 mimosas, or they also have what's known as a Mega Mosa, which is a $35 mimosa the size of Jeremy Chugg's. It's gigantic. I plan on tackling it down, and if you plan on showing up to meet Graphic and I to talk some Raiders, have a good time, Saturday brunch, then please join us 11 a.m. at Hero for some mimosas, for some Raiders talk, and Chugs, I think, is coming as well. So if you guys want to meet Jeremy Chugs, there you go. Add it to your bucket list. Hopefully see you guys there, and enjoy the rest of your day. Remember, we keep you up to date here. I'll be live tomorrow unless, I don't know, man, unless the Raiders go ahead and they sign James Bradberry.